Afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone's good. Had to re-record. I had to re-record this video because there were a lot of it seemed like I had I don't know, corrupted or some shit. I don't know. Either way, COVID dose vaccine update. First thing is, I'm totally fine. Day 2, almost 2 full days post-vaccine second dose. I am totally fine. No issues whatsoever. This video is basically going to be, is going to be on hair. This is Black History Month. So one thing we will be doing, or we're going to be aware of, is, you know, bringing more attention to things pertaining to minorities. What the fuck? Okay, I don't think that blur is actually me. Oh, let's check. Okay, clear now. Okay, basically this video is going to be on race. I know Black History Month. I did say that I was going to speak on many things that occur, and at the same time, it's very important to have some precision and kind of hold people accountable for them speaking on these things and not trying to push some other narrative that's really outside of the focus, that may be focused more towards Black nationalism or some form of ethnocentrism, something that I am thoroughly against. So I'm totally fine with you being confident in who you are, but not the idea that you're superior to people or that any of these things. This is not the line of thinking we go in. So whole idea is hair. For a long time in history, Black people, our texture of hair has been a joke for a long time. The reason that it's been a joke is because as we've made efforts to assimilate into a country or areas, the socially dominant class, in terms of criteria that would be necessary for us, or that would be indicative of gaining utility in the society that you're in, one of the criteria that you did have to meet as a person of color in the past was changing the texture of your hair. In the past, Black people's hair was associated with being primitive, being uncivilized, being like cats, being like wild beasts, right? And one of the ideas was, in order to seem, when one of the lines of thinking was Black people being deemed as not even the same species or being curbed, the idea is your hair, indicative of being uncivilized, has to have the characteristics of the people who are part of the socially dominant class. And in this situation, it would be straight hair, slicked back. Self-esteem is a multifaceted thing. I'm not gonna try to imply that the society has a reference point for our perception of ourselves. So who our ideal self is, what our actual self is. In terms of things that are a reference point for us to determine who we are, judge our opinions and abilities, it's always been like media, right? Like, or a society. When it came to Black people judging their opinions and abilities in the past, one form of pattern recognition that they had to be aware of is, hey, in order for you to gain utility out of the world that you live in, which is controlled by white people, one of the things that you must do is you must change the texture of your hair. We created an entire business for this, hair products, all of this. I think one of the first millionaires was a Black woman who made hair products. Long-term impact of these hair woohoo, that's just lit, boy. One of the long-term impacts of these things, these products, is women's hair, Black women's hair got destroyed. Their scalp got fucked to no end. Their scalp was destroyed to the point where they can't even grow hair in some of their parts of their head because of the damage that was caused by hair products that were necessary in order to assimilate into a place where you are not a part of the people who run shit, and you need to do this thing in order to get a job, be deemed as attractive, all of these things. And this is something that's happened for a long time in the past. Black people, to an extent, have internalized these lines of thinking to start saying, you know, you're similar to what white people started out with, which is you have quote unquote good hair implying that bad hair is unkept, kinky, neat. But bad hair is unkept. It's coarse, right? Even to an extent, the self-esteem of many people, depending on your argument of the reasons why many black people, women have their self-esteem has been impacted to the point where they do not feel that they are attractive with their natural characteristics. Now, I'm not going to be a person to try and push for everything being natural, because it's not. Self-esteem is multifaceted. It's a case-by-case basis how much this has to do with people. In terms of engaging in some actions that modify your physical characteristics to gain utility out of the world, relative to the social context that you apply to some of these characteristics, I'd be totally fine with skin bleaching, all that shit, you know, skin bleaching, all that. So the reason for that distinction is that a problem for, like, you know, you're a black woman, you do that shit, you want to get weave, do whatever the fuck you want to do. But the lines of thinking about why you do not prefer to have hair that is not yours, that is the most important thing, right? So I want to set that distinction, because I don't want to be like lumped up with like fucking like some fucking black nationalists or some fucking weird shit. I don't want to be grouped in with any of those people. Some of these King Pharaoh ass niggas, any of these niggas, I do not want to try and argue that you have low self-esteem because you are modifying your characteristics. The reason why you're modifying your characteristics is important. All that being said, it is very important, as you know, now, and you know, we've seen stories over history, you know, over the past. Kids, they can't get it, they have to cut their hair to commit in sports. You know, I've had things that happen in my family where I have mixed family members, or people who are not even mixed. They just have hair that is long and they're fully black. Their hair is just not expressed the same as, to be as kinky as other black people's hair. And when they use certain hair products, coconut oil, you know, I've had people who say, you know, they were told when they were young their hair smelled like shit. I don't know what white people they were talking to, because last time I checked coconut oil on that shit smelled good as fuck. So when it smell like wet dog, it's ironic that these niggas got problem with the smelly, very nice smelling products in a black woman's hair. But you know, that's the fact that that's a thing is a very ironic. As it is, you know, we've seen examples of people internalizing these things differently. The main point, though, is in 2021, black people are extremely influential in culture. They want to have all our characteristics. People want to have your ass, they want your titties, they want to have your lips. Their ideal self usually includes some characteristics that people who are black naturally have. Now, the reasons are, you know, that's an entire discussion in itself. There are many people who haven't went through this discussion, so the many white girls who doing whatever. But it is important to understand that all of these traits, the social context behind why people prefer these traits, is important for us to break through. And it is imperative that moving forward, for the next generations, moving forward over and over, and, you know, on in a perpetuity, we push forth the idea of embracing uniqueness, embracing everybody's characteristics outside of the social context where your race is and your characteristics that you naturally have are indicative of you being primitive. Looks, that's not a thing. Maybe morals and ethics, like your religion, that's not necessarily tied to a race, I'd be down with. We're not talking about race shit. And the reason why I wanted to set these distinctions and be clear is I don't want it to give off the idea that if you have to embrace your black shit, all that blah blah, because I'm not with that. And you know, there are many ways to embrace who you are as a black person, and one of the things is to not shit on things that you do have, because when you have a kid, they will have characteristics like yours. You do not want to be perpetuating this to your child while they're growing up. When they see a person they interact with applying the concept of bad to their hair when they fucking made them, you know, this causes a lot of emotional problems and many other things. So the entire point of this video was to tell people to embrace who you are, you know. It's very important to figure out the reasons why people have certain views for who you are. Why do you have an issue with my things? Why do you have an issue with my hair? Why do you have an issue with all of it? You know, embrace your uniqueness. You can be a black woman who loves getting weave, that's fine, but it better not be a reason because it looks unkept, it's dirty. Nah, that's not, we gonna have to go into a lot of shit. I remember I had a problem that happened at my job with a African woman unironically telling me I look uncivilized, only for me to school her ass and ask her to say that one more time when New York is one of the only places, second state, to have anti-hair discrimination. What did her African ass do that was wearing thin braids that came from white people in order for her to have those thin braids, because that's not her hair, and I know that's white people hair, but she needed to do it? She didn't say shit. She shut her mouth. So I want to tell that to people. Two, my shit, if you look at my shit, it's all the way natural, okay? I do this deliberately because I can. Because you're a minority, it's 2021, everybody can wear their traits. A white man can wear his hair naturally, an Asian man can wear their hair naturally, an Asian woman can wear their hair naturally. Asian includes Indian as well. White people, they be coming in, these niggas don't even brush their shit. Niggas waking up, going to work, and they work high school jobs. Why can't you carry your hair like this? So the emphasis is to embrace your traits, okay? I'm not getting a haircut until COVID's over, or I just got my vaccine, so we'll see after that. But that's it. Like, comment, subscribe, all that shit. GG. Love you all. Be safe. Love yourself. All that shit. All right.